So we had two different volunteers for the Hour Center come to us, unbeknownst to one another, within 24 hours of one another, and say that they had been involved in empty bowls in other parts of the state or country, and they wanted to bring it to our center. And so it was kind of one of those serendipitous things that we thought, well, obviously this is meant to be. And so we started those first discussions in October of 2003 and held our first empty bowls for our center in March of 2004.
Yeah, and they called me up and asked. I was a brand new pottery studio in town, and they said, would you like to be involved? And I said, absolutely.
One of the smartest decisions we made.
First year, we didn't know what we were getting ourselves into. And the first year, we had people painting at crackpots, and I just showed up to the event. But I saw what a fun event it was, and I just got more and more involved in the planning and coming to all the meetings and seeing how we could make it evolve over the years.
And it's been a great partnership. I don't think we could have imagined what this delved into, but it would not be anywhere near the event it is without the Crackpots partnership. And you're right, we have seen our children grow up. They've been at the events. My youngest was 7 the first time we had one. You were still
I've been pregnant 2 times throughout the process. Like the second year I was pregnant with my daughter, and she's painted bowls now, and we've all painted lots of bowls. But I think the thing that my charge was getting the community involved in painting the bowls, because we were getting bowls from schools, and like just the community got so excited about donating their bowls. It was fun to see what everyone came up with, and like each year wanting to do it again and again. And I even have a bowl that Malia did in 2011. This is my daughter. And then in 2022, so her artwork has evolved, and so we've seen the progression of our kids and our families, and it's been amazing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I would call this a favorite, but certainly memorable, just tracking the weather over the years, because for the most part, except for recently, it's been in March, and so we've had 8 inches of snow that my husband shoveled away from Longmont High School so people could get in, and we were, concerned about just people being able to make it. One year, a lot of our volunteers had to cancel because of the weather, and they couldn't get there.
And the lines. And sometimes the lines of people outside were, because it was raining, we had to let everyone come into the little waiting area to let them in because the weather was so bad outside.
Mm-hmm. And one year it was 75 degrees. Colorado weather could be doing all kinds of crazy things. So people were starting to get overheated in the line, and so we were passing out water just so we didn't have our guests pass out before they had a chance to eat and get their bowl. So, just some kind of the crazy things that you remember in planning, but overshadowing all that is people lining up an hour ahead of time just because they're so excited to get into the event and to be able to see the fabulous bowls that they have to pick from and get the delicious soups. And the repeat customers, we have people that have literally come every year, or 18 out of 19 of the past years, because they just love it and they can't wait to get together and see their friends and get to take something really lovely home with them.
I remember one time there was a group that came and they had a birthday party there. There was a group of adults, and the table kept growing. They kept pushing tables together, and it kept growing and growing, and they just had a big birthday party, a soup birthday party.
Yeah, people really do make it part of their annual traditions and special events. My son-in-law's grandma, for years, she came on her birthday, and one of her daughters flew in from California every year to go to Empty Bowls and to make sure that she could bring her mom and her sister and the rest of their family to the event. So there's a lot of tradition involved, not just for us, but for the people that come and support us.
Yeah.
I remember some of the quirky ones that we would get, particularly from the students over at Frederick High School. So Mary, one of the originators of our event, was their teacher, and they would do just really funny, funky kinds of things. And so I remember one year we had a toilet bowl, and of course some 9-year-old boy just was thrilled to be able to get that as his bowl to take home.
That was one of the very first bowls that I got, was one of Mary's class's bowls, and it was a giraffe that was like a pinch pot with a head. and my daughter kept her binkies in it for about, well, as long as she had binkies, which was long.
Yeah. Yeah, when you've got 18,000 bowls you've seen over the years, it's there are some pretty memorable ones, but obviously that's the fun of the event. Everyone is unique. Actually, the very first year we did not do a silent auction. We didn't really even think about it. We didn't even know how it was going to go, quite honestly. And then we sold over 500 tickets the first year. I think we ran out of soup, but people still came in to get a bowl. They're like, oh, that's fine. I just wanted to be supportive. And so then one of our volunteers that year, who was an artist herself, brought the idea of a silent auction to us next year, because we had enough bowls that we felt like this could be a good add-on for revenue, but also there were obviously so many fabulous bowls that people would probably be willing to pay a little bit extra. So ever since the second year, then the silent auction has been part of it, and a great chance to feature just fabulous and unique work.
And so many local businesses wanted to be a part of it too, so they're getting gift certificates from various, businesses like salons and breweries and restaurants, and just adding that to the mix of things, so then other businesses could participate.
I think what we learn every day at our center is that we have to be flexible, because you really never know what's going to happen or what needs are people going to have. And let's face it, the whole world was crazy, so we just kind of had to keep modifying and kept changing our plans. And a couple key things for me was that the community still really wanted to be supportive, and they were willing to come if at all possible. A lot of people had purchased tickets, of course, because we were going to have our empty bowls on March 14th of 2020, and March 11th everything shut down, so all of these people already had tickets. Most of them were able to still come and pick out a bowl in September. Not everybody did, but they said it's okay, we just want to support the Our Center. And I think the other thing that was important to us is to just keep it going in some fashion. The momentum was really important, because with fundraising events, if they're out of people's sight and minds, then they may forget about that. And so we really decided one way or the other we needed to keep them going, and tomorrow was a big part of that.
I feel like people wanted to participate still. They still wanted to help the Our Center, and nobody really wanted the momentum to stop. So they came, like you said, we had to shut down and not have the event, but most people everyone had their tickets. It was just a few days in advance. But all the way from March until September, we couldn't even meet, even if we wanted to. So all the bowls were outside, and so many people still showed up to pick out their bowls, and they had kept their tickets. And I know from being here at the studio, people were asking about, what are we going to do? Or do we get to pick out our bowls? And they never forgot about it. And we like to call that, like, around here, the empty bowl season. It's a good period of time where we get to talk about the Our Center to people for a good portion of time. And then we even had a pop-up shop here the following year, because we still couldn't meet. And so we were able to have people paint bowls, and then we had a little shop where people could come and purchase the bowls. So we're just excited to go back to normal, though. Yeah. The ice cream was another little pivot that we did, which worked. Everyone was excited because we had to have it in June. But
the ice cream, we still got to be together.
And still relevant with bowls, right? It still works with bowls. But yeah, we're so excited to go back to, and I think we've heard a lot that people are excited to have the soup again. Yeah.
We have restaurants that have been with us since the very beginning, and so we usually have up to 20 different kinds of soup that people can pick from, and it's delicious. So the idea is that we serve a simple meal, but it's really delicious, and not only the people that come in to paint, but we have financial sponsors, and we have soup sponsors that have been with us every year, and so that's part of what makes it so great and successful as well.
And such delicious soups. I know people look forward to having, just the clam chowder or the tomato soup, or I always love the Our Center always has the chicken noodle soup, and it's amazing to experience that. It's really good food.
Yeah, Our Center chef will prepare something as well,
yeah. So
people get to enjoy what those of us at the Our Center do as well. So over these past 19 events, we've raised over $500,000 specifically for our food program, and so that includes meals. We serve breakfast during the week, and we serve lunch 7 days a week, and then we also have a community market where people can take home groceries. And so especially in times of inflation and some economic challenges, we're really seeing more people all the time that just rely on our food services to help them either maintain their budget or become self-reliant. And so when you look at the 17,000 tickets we've sold over the years, and look at how many meals or how much food that equates to, we're talking about just tens of thousands of people that have been impacted by this. And more importantly, they know their community cares about them and want to do something real hands-on. For this year, as Tamar said, we will be back to our traditional events. So we'll be serving a soup luncheon. People can select 2 kinds of bowls, and of course get their ceramic bowl to take home with them with their ticket. So we're just excited to be back again, sharing a meal together and sharing fellowship, and bringing back that spirit of community togetherness that is just what's so magical about Empty Bowls. And we're going to keep it going as long as we possibly can. I think we've realized over these 20 years that it is definitely a community favorite. It's become a signature event for our center, so people really look forward to it. Even people that may not be familiar with our center love to come here and paint, or they may not be familiar with Crackpots, but that gives them an opportunity to explore their creative side and contribute. So the community has embraced it. It raises money for a great cause. It's a direct correlation. We're feeding people so that other people in the community can be fed. So we hope it continues for a long time.
Yeah, and we'll continue participating as long as we can, because it works so well, and we love helping the Our Center and being a part of such a great community event that directly affects the community. And there's people right here in the community who have empty bowls. That's the whole point. And just the fact that we're able to help an organization that's so local and that the impact is so local, it